beautiful people here on TikTok. It's been a little while since I have been live with you guys. We are still covering the case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, and there has been quite a bit of information that has come out over the last several weeks. I haven't had an opportunity to be on here in a little while, so I'm going to just run you through where we were and where we're at today in the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. Now, many of you guys know the JonBenet Ramsey case was a pivotal case back in 1996 of a little girl that disappeared from her home and was later found in the boiler room on the third floor of their home. It's a case that many know of police kind of fumbling, leaving the house open to people coming in, not following proper procedures and protocols. I'm actually making a documentary on the JonBenet Ramsey case, and it should be dropping sometime next week on my YouTube channel. It's been taking me quite a bit of time. I'm collecting a lot of information. But how does that pertain to the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case? I believe some of the mistakes that were made in the JonBenet Ramsey case are also relevant and prevalent in the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case, especially the days of February 26th into February 28th of the beginning of the case. Now, everybody knows about Nick Barris. Nick Barris is the local news guy in the community on Channel 5, which has kind of been, you know, in kinder words, like the public information officer in part, right? They don't have a public information officer at Sumner County, and Nick Barris kind of stepped up to the plate and has been that, deflecting a lot of the information and doing this disinformation and misinformation campaign in part on the protection of the Proudfoots, in my opinion. However, his most recent news update, once again, shames social media, and it's getting to the point where you can really see how mainstream media frowns upon alternative media, and I think there's more to it than the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case, because we deal with it from area to area that we go to. They have usually their local market, and when social media kind of comes in, it pulls people from their local market and more on a larger platform in part. Again, last week we've learned from the national spokesperson, Tony Mathis, which represents Seth Rogers, that there were 5 CPS reports against the stepfather in Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. And that's not the most bombshell information. I mean, 5 CPS reports is a heck of a lot more than the one that we were told about. You know, we kind of knew there were 2 because of statements from the stepfather saying things such as it was the same person that was here before, or something like that. Like the social worker knew him when they came up for this most recent CPS report. And we're not really clear on the dates and the times, and we don't know what are in those reports. But 5 reports in a matter of 2 years is a significant information drop, fact drop. Moreover, we found out in this same interview, and this was on Mr. and Mrs. E Crimecast on YouTube, that they have been trying to get rid of Sebastian since October 2022. Now, if you guys watch YouTube at all, you'll know of a content creator by the name of Lore Lodge. The Lore Lodge is a great resource when it comes to this. They don't usually cover ongoing and active cases, but when you look at the investigative work from the Lore Lodge, you find out some pretty compelling information of situational things that were going on at the time from 2017 all the way up to 2022, and we go over that. And it seems it's about the time that they purchased their home that they start gunning for custody of Chris's youngest daughter, Faith. And now all of a sudden, Sebastian is not welcome in their home, and they want to get rid of Faith. And now all of a sudden, Sebastian is not welcome in their home and they want to get rid of him, send him to school, and then ultimately decide in 2023 that he would go live full time with his father. What does this all mean? We really don't know. But one of the situations that just recently happened is the spokesperson, Tony Mathis, actually went out to Virginia and makes a statement, home by Christmas. It sounds like new information might be coming out that this could be, and I said could be, it could be a custody issue going on in this case. Although based on the behaviors of the mom and stepdad, in my opinion, highly unlikely, but we still want to provide hope to the father related to this particular matter and case. I want to be wrong about my assessments when it comes to this case. And this morning, we just went over the Lore Lodge and 5D's clip of certain key factors in the Lore Lodge's statement, which kind of dovetail in the most jaw-dropping revelation in this case. There was somebody seen communicating with the mother outside of the Texas Roadhouse Grill that we all dubbed for the last week as the Green Hoodie Guy. Well, we're learning today the Green Hoodie Guy might be a woman. And there are pictures now circulating about this Green Hoodie Guy and the fact that she may be a woman. Who was speaking to Katie outside of the Texas Roadhouse that was sitting by her car? Right now, at night, and Dog the Bounty Hunter are actively looking for the identity of this person right here, which is dubbed the Green Hoodie Guy. I hope everybody is having a great Friday. By the way, TGIF, I didn't get to see all of your chats because I have been talking and I had to change my screen. So it's nice to see all the people that have joined in, and I'm going to read some comments down once I get to some of them. Happy holidays to everybody in chat as well. In my opinion, social media is more accurate because we don't have boardrooms and we don't have people telling us, don't say this, don't say that. And I think that it has to be the responsibility of the content creator not to cause problems in an ongoing and active investigation. However, if you find out information on your own, that is fair game. But each content creator has to make a decision whether they want to put that information out to the public or not. There's a lot of things that I find out because I do a lot of boots on the ground that I have to weigh very heavily the good and the bad when it comes to releasing information. Sometimes I will release it if it will apply pressure to either law enforcement or the perceived person of interest in the case, just to kind of make them a little nervous, make them make mistakes, or in an effort on the side of law enforcement, make them step up to the plate and work a little harder, or finally release a tidbit of information to the public that should have been released, something to that effect. But I do believe social media is more accurate because we care. We find the information ourselves. We research the information ourselves. We come up from a place of knowledge. Most of these people, they get, the stuff already prepared for them and have no personal interest in the case. I think we all have a personal interest in the case, in part that we put our blood, sweat, and tears in trying to locate and find Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Wait, is he found? No, Dina, he's not found. We're still looking for him. But it sounded like there may have been a promising lead. We don't know what the findings are from that trip to Virginia. But because Sebastian is not with us today, I have to think that whatever lead they were following did not pan out the way that they had thought it should. Why are we still talking about the mom and stepdad. I see, I actually disagree with you. I see jail in their future because of child abuse and other things, but that's just my opinion based on what we're finding out over the last few weeks. And the fact that they didn't want this child in their home as far back as October of 2022. So I understand your position, but it is my position that you probably are so far removed from this case and probably so diluted with misinformation, you wouldn't know the facts if they slapped you upside the head. Just my opinion. What is the subject? The subject is Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Come here. Come on. Come on. You want to say hi to everybody? Come here. Delilah wants to say hi. She felt like she was being left out. So if you guys haven't met the crime fighting dog, this is Delilah. She is famous for her crime fighting skills in her 6 months of life. Her 6 months of life. And she's wearing her beautiful little pink dress. She's wearing her beautiful pink dress. She wants to go play with the neighbor. Let's see here. What do we... They know way more than they are saying, but will all come out soon. They will pay for it. Yes, I do believe, and this is a change from what we've been speaking of, because the most recent interview that Seth Rogers gave to Channel 2 News, was that there's open communication with him and the detectives now, which is very, very good. While he didn't say what that open communication has been with the detective, he did say that they have renewed his faith. Open communication has been with the detective. He did say that they have renewed his faith in their ability to find his son and bring his son home. So I think for the most part, Seth, being the most critical of what's been going on with the investigation of his son, having open lines of communication with law enforcement, doubled with the fact that he has renewed faith and renewed hope in their ability to bring his son home. I think that's positive for all of us. I think that really does lead us down the road that they are doing things. Now, I truly believe that they did make mistakes in the early days of this investigation, and it was my hope that those did not cause any long-term effects in their investigation. But with the renewed hope that Seth has, it has renewed my hope in the law enforcement handling this case as well, because I know Seth is a heck of a lot more skeptical than me when it comes to his son, and has been a lot more outspoken than me when it comes to the handling of his son's case. So hearing that from him really does provide hope for me, because he has hope, which he has been missing when it came to law enforcement for just a little bit, you know. I mean, he wants his son to come home, of course, and he wants the people responsible for his son's disappearance to be held accountable, whether it's a custody dispute or something more nefarious. I just saw a video. Do you know anything about Summer Wells? Yes, I investigated that. I've got content. I've got an interview with Hunter's mother that is pretty compelling. Summer Wells case is a case that I was in and out of Tennessee searching for over 2 years. I'm very well entrenched in the Summer Wells case as well. I have a lot of cases in the state of Tennessee, which causes me heartburn, because out of that being one of the smallest populated states that I go to, it has four major cases that I've been covering. It has Summer Wells, Sebastian Rogers, Layla Santinello, and Holland Snap. So Haley Williams, 13, abducted from New York last March, was one of our success cases. Aw. My grandma is Ann Jupman, psychic remote viewers for C&D agencies. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. I wonder what she says about the Sebastian Rogers case. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Angela. I appreciate that. So that's kind of where we are, but this is very, very important. We are trying to find the identity of the green hoodie gal, right? The green hoodie gal, because it looks like it's not a guy anymore. It's a gal. And it makes you wonder why this person was waiting for Sebastian's mom outside of her door of her car. They do have a conversation, and then the lady, it looks like Katie gets in the car and the lady walks on. Goes into the Texas Roadhouse for a brief moment, uses the restroom, comes out, and leaves. So it at least that's my understanding of it. I don't know if the person left. I know there was somebody that circled another person on that was sitting kind of adjacent to the mom, but this person here does not have that red shirt that everybody's been thinking that this person has. This is the person right here. We're still trying to identify this person. If you know who this person is, you could be eligible, if it leads to the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers or the successful prosecution of those responsible, you could get yourself $250,000. This reward has been increased multiple times. It shows you the severity of this case, and it shows you the level of attention people are paying attention to. This is not a cold case. I will tell you, I know that there's been some rumors going around that the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is a cold case. I can promise you it is not a cold case. I'm just a content creator that covers true crime, and I can tell you my inbox is filled with leads all day long. If my inbox is filled with leads all day long, so is law enforcement, so is Dog the Bounty Hunter, so is At Night Intelligence Agency, and those get passed on to the proper authorities if anybody is concerned about that. I don't think the GHG is a girl. I'm impartial to it because I have not seen the full video yet, only the outside, and of course these photos here. But this right here really does, if you blow it up, it looks like a woman. So that's just my tidbit of information. So is she possibly, we don't know. We don't know Crystal Pistol. We don't know if she's any relation to anybody in the family. That's why it's so important that we identify this person and get them in front of law enforcement to find out. There was a conversation had between her and Katie Proudfoot hours before Sebastian was last seen for forever. Okay? And it's very important that anybody that came in contact with this family, as minor as it is, that they are spoken to and find out anything and everything that they may know. Maybe they saw something. Maybe they heard something. So even if this person isn't associated and has no knowledge of who Katie or Sebastian is, she had a conversation with Katie. And if she had a conversation with Katie, then she has something that needs to be told to law enforcement, as innocent or as nefarious as that conversation could have been, right? Either way you look at it, this person came in contact with the family shortly before a boy disappeared, and this person has not yet been spoken to by law enforcement, and therefore this person is sought out for information about the conversation that they had. I don't have an identity of the vehicle that this person exited from or entered into when leaving the establishment. I don't know if this car went in the direction of Katie's home. I know nothing other than this person was seen on the outside of Katie's car when they were leaving, having a conversation with her. According to some people that have watched the video completely through, which none of us have yet, it is stated that there was something passed off from this person to Katie and vice versa. So that's why it's absolutely important to find out who this person is. If you are out in that area, I don't know if this is a person from that area. I could conclude or hypothesize that if they know Katie or Sebastian, that it's most likely that they live in the area. So we're probably looking for a resident of that community. And if anybody knows or has recognized this person, please reach out to 833-TELL-DOG. You can also reach out to Bullhorn Betty at gmail.com and give a name. Provide a name. If you know the person or know where they hang out, homeless person asking for money, it's possible. But when you couple that with Katie looking around the restaurant, I don't know if you saw that part. That part of the video has been released to the public. And it looks like she is looking for a specific person. And she doesn't know where that specific person is in the restaurant. I naturally thought it might have been a server, but from further observation of their table, they had everything they needed. Their drinks were completely full. They had plenty of bread in their basket. They had food and silverware on the table, and they had napkins. So I'm unsure why she would have been looking for the waitstaff at that time, but she did have a suspicious look on her face when she was looking around the restaurant. And then after that look, shortly thereafter pays her check and exits the establishment to come to a person that's standing by her car door. Now, if the person walked up to her as she was exiting, that's one thing. But this person was standing at her car door when she exited. And she had a conversation with this person. And it was not a fearful conversation because you see her put her hand on the side of her car in a relaxed state. And you see the other person, the green hoodie person, using their hands to speak. So you can tell it was a conversation. So why would she be looking around the restaurant like she's looking for somebody, shortly thereafter pay her bill, and then there was somebody sitting by her car door when she exited the establishment and spoke with her? To me, I don't want to read into that too much because it could very well be an innocent engagement, right? We could explain the searching around the restaurant looking for waitstaff, even though I don't believe it because it appeared that they had everything on their table that they needed. But then to have somebody out there, could that person have been asking for change? Of course they could have been asking for change. But do you stop and have a conversation with somebody asking for change? Usually they ask for change as they're walking by. Do you have a couple bucks I can borrow? I'm kind of down, you know. You don't sit there and usually people say, don't bother me. I got to go. I don't have any cash on me. And off. You don't see them putting their hand down on their vehicle and continuing to have a conversation with them. That's just my opinion. It's just the way it looks to me. It doesn't mean it's going to be the way it looks to you. How long was the conversation? About a minute, a minute or less. For example, you can have a lot of conversation in a minute or less. If you sat there and timed me right now, you would probably be amazed at how many sentences and paragraphs I could probably get in 60 seconds just talking normally in the way I'm talking. A lot of information can come out of your mouth in 60 seconds. Majority of our conversations with people are 60 seconds or less. So if you consider that, there's a lot that could have been said in that 60 seconds or less. So I do think it could be nothing or it could be something, right? But we can't determine that until the person's identified and speaks to law enforcement or dog's team. So that, I believe, is the big push that they have right now related to this case, is they're trying to identify the green hoodie gal, not guy. There's a reason why they're saying that it's a gal. It is my opinion that they must have seen something that they have not released to the public that identifies this person as a female. And so that would be what I would presume going forward. We just learned about this about, 16 or 18 hours ago. I found out about it this morning, that it is perceived to be a girl, a female versus a male. So just put that in the back of your mind when you're looking at this. Look at it with a different set of eyes, possibly. And hopefully somebody in their community or somebody in the Tennessee area knows who this person is. If you have any information or think you may know who this person is, please reach out to 833-TELL-DOG, law enforcement, the Sumner County Sheriff's Department, or leak that information to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I promise you it will get to the right hands if you want to remain anonymous. I know that Dog the Bounty Hunter and Nick the Hat have been making sure that people that are dropping information anonymously are being maintained anonymously. So you don't have to worry about that information. They are keeping confidentiality top and key. I know that a lot of people are concerned about providing information or helping out in this case because they don't want to be targeted. We are doing everything we can to make sure that that does not happen. So just trust the process, trust our ability to keep you out of the limelight, and please step forward to help this young boy. May I remind everybody that's watching, he's been missing for almost 10 months. He just went without Thanksgiving with his family. He just had his 16th birthday without his family, and we're rolling around to Christmas without his family. This is heartbreaking, and we need everybody's help. So please clip this up or start talking about this. This needs to be our top priority right now on all social media platforms and all my content creators that are really trying to find answers to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' case. Please help identify the green hoodie gal. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'll try to be back on later today, but the reason why I've been gone is because I've been working very, very hard on an amazing documentary. It's starting to turn out really, really well, but editing takes a lot of time. I do not like editing. I love Chronicles of Olivia, but she's been doing her work for many years. She works a lot quicker than me, and she has beautiful footage that she creates, and it takes me 10 times, 100 times longer than it ever will Chronicles of Olivia. And so I'm hoping that I can drop the documentary by next Friday, a week from today, if I can get the rest of it done. Right now, it's taken me 4 days to get 6 minutes done. It's that time intensive, and it's looking amazing, by the way. I've looked at it. I'm kind of impressed with myself so far. And I hope that the rest of the video really does kind of bring home some major mishaps and missteps, in my opinion, from law enforcement still to this day. I feel like they're missing some key pieces of evidence related to the JonBenet Ramsey case that could change this case. And I do personally believe that it is a third party, that it was never Patsy or John Ramsey that did anything to their daughter. I think there's enough information and there's enough evidence that leads me to a different story, and a lot of that came from Lou Smith in that case. The one thing that I dovetail the JonBenet Ramsey case with Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is those first few days when people were trampling through their house, contaminating the crime scene, really making it very difficult for law enforcement to later do their job. I don't think it's to that extent in the Sebastian Rogers case, especially in light of the renewed hope Seth Rogers has, but it's always a concern when people drop the ball at the very beginning. Will that ball forever be dropped, or will they be able to salvage it? I think is the question that many of us here in the public have. So we're continuing to go through this. Remember that the reward has now been increased to $250,000. That's $250,000. That is life-changing money, folks. If you're a young kid and you know about this case, you've overheard parents talking or adults talking, and you've got some tidbit of information, this is a nice ride and a full college expense paid to any college in this country. So you young folks that are out there that have some information and are scared to getting somebody in trouble, this right here is life-changing money to start you off in your new life right. Get you a college education and a new ride to go to college in. If you've got information, step forward if it could help find where Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is, or the successful prosecution of those responsible. And I also heard through the grapevine, I'm sure everybody else has, it seems like the mom and her unscrupulous PI went to this establishment demanding, making a scene inside the establishment for the content that was released at night. And in my opinion, I don't know anybody that would demand such a thing if there was nothing to see. Just my 2 cents on that topic. So you might want to take that into consideration as well. All right, guys, I love you. Have a great day. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, it is the holidays. So let's be kind to one another. God bless.